This week's video is going to be on the infamous 800. It's a 2001 WR 426 Yamaha, and this was my uncle's dirt bike. This was his pride and joy growing up. This is what he always rode. This video is going to be about me riding the dirt bike at Carnegie. I just rode it a couple minutes ago. Thing rips. And basically it was going to go through history about this dirt bike, you know, what it's been through and what it is now, and any future plans for it. So I think the best place to start about this story is back when he first got it, which was many moons ago. I don't know the exact date, but he was looking for a dirt bike, you know, searching high and low, and went into the gas station one day, got the, I think it was Cycle Trader magazine. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I remember from telling me. And he came across the listing of this bike for sale, and he went to go look at it. Ended up being one of the kids that he taught for t-ball, or coached for t-ball. Ended up being his dad's bike. So they, you know, bullshitting for a little bit, and ended up getting the bike for a steal. This bike had, back then, I think it is still a Trail Tech monitor, had a steering stabilizer on it, big tank, had a titanium subframe, still has it, had a carbon fiber airbox, which is back on the ground, but from the modification I just did, had to take it off. And a bunch of other carbon fiber bits, and White Brothers exhaust, and list goes on, all the cool shit that was on it. So anyways, he rode it for a long time. And then I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, he was looking to get a bike with the E-Start, because this thing, if anyone knows WR 426s, or 426s in general, they are a pain in the ass to kick over, and unless you know the bike. But even when you know the bike, it's still kind of hard sometimes. And he was having a hard time starting it, because, as he liked to say, he did nothing but put gas in this thing. He didn't do any maintenance to it. Rarely did an oil change. So valves were never done, you know, but this thing is a tank. To this day, I still haven't done the valves, and it still runs great. So, but yeah, so he ended up selling the bike to get a bike with the E-Start. I believe it was a WR 450 that he had got. In San Diego, we went together, me and him. We went to go get the bike. We picked it up. He was super stoked on it, loved it, and he brought it back here. We rode a bunch in Carnegie with it. And it was kind of finicky, but he always wanted to have another enduro. So what he ended up doing was selling the bike that he had just got with the E-Start, selling that, and then went to go buy a true dual sport, or enduro. So he went and bought that bike, and when he had that bike, he loved it. And then his buddy who had this bike, because he actually sold it to a friend from work, he hit him up and was like, hey, I believe he was having back surgery or something with his back, got hurt. And he said, hey, you know what? Do you want your bike back? And he was like, yeah, I'd love it back. And then he was like, come and get it. You can have it. So that's what he did. He was like, shit, okay. So he went and got the bike back, you know, and he was reunited with it again. It was always meant to be for him to have this bike. And on March 11th of this year, 2025, my uncle had passed away from ALK, lung cancer. And then for his funeral service, I had gotten the bike maybe a couple days before that. And I was wanting to bring the bike back to its former glory, you know, running, looking good, just show it off there. At his service. So that's what I did. The next 3 days I went to sleep late at night, all day, all night. When I came home from work, I'd work on this thing to get it ready to go. The carburetor was giving me a hell of a time. Well, mind you, it was only 3 days, so all I had was just the tools around here. I had no parts for the carburetor. So I was just kind of cleaning it half-assedly, but it was so bad. Maybe if I have some pictures or videos, I'll put them in here. but it was gummed up. Pilot jet was so clogged, it was crazy. So anyways, I spent all that time, cleaned the carburetor, put it back together, and put the tank back on to start it, put the gas on, and it just started pissing fuel. So anyways, I ended up getting it started with that carburetor on. And at that point I was like, okay, what do? I can't take it there leaking gas everywhere, you know. I can't freaking overnight a carburetor rebuild kit. No places near me had a rebuild kit, not even close to where I can get parts. So I was like, damn. So I was kind of out of options, really out of options. So I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? I was looking at the carburetor and I was like, man, this looks a lot like the carburetor that my buddy had given me maybe 2-3 years ago. It's been sitting in a box in my shed. So I was like, you know what? What if I ran that carburetor? I got to thinking, there are some differences, but I could make it work. And the throttle cables, thankfully, when I had my buddy gave me all the parts, the throttle cable was still on it, the hot start cable was still all together. I have the brake line or the clutch cable, like it was a whole cable assembly off this dirt bike, a CRF 450, like a 0809. And I was like, sweet. So so what I did is I took that carburetor, put it in here, and I ended up running the Honda cables with the whole throttle cable, everything. This is all Honda, down to the carburetor, and put it all together. It fits, it's perfect, it runs great, starts great.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
So if you have a WR426, you can use an 0809 CRF 450 carburetor. Not sure what you'll have to do with it jetting wise. Mine, I took the jets out of the WR carburetor and put it in this one. It runs freaking amazing. Like, we're gonna go test it out here in this video and you'll see. Hopefully it does good, full throttle. But so far, wheeling up and down the street, great, feels great. So I'm very stoked. And anyways, after all that was done, I ended up taking it to the service and it's beautiful. Started it up, revved it for him. Yeah, took it back here, just dialing it in a little bit here and there, making sure it's ready for the trails. She's pretty much ready to go. So next time you see us, we will be at Carnegie with all the homies there and giving this thing a shakedown. So cross your fingers and we'll see you guys there.
Good morning. Hi. Winnie and Bear. Bear and Winnie. Lex, good morning. Yeah, long night drinking last night. Got the 800 and the Beta 200. Ready to rep the gi. Let's go. You ready? What do you think the dirt's gonna be like out there?
Dry.
Dry as fuck. Don't mind my hair. Let's go. Get some gas. Yeah, white boy. Yeah, we on.
Yo. Let's revive.
Look at her. Aww. Couldn't find the best spot to fucking park. Shit everywhere, weeds everywhere. But we lit. Yeah. Deep. Beautiful day.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Some freshly ads for today. Rocking the smoked lens. Dialed in.
fucked up right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Never again. What's going on, everybody? Got the 800, went on our first ride. It didn't want to start, but that's okay. Had to kick it every time we stopped, so I tried to keep it on as much as I could. Other than that, thing fucking rips. As you can see in the GoPro videos, my SD card got full, so when we came back I deleted some videos, so we're ready to go now. We're about to go out for another ride, so let's go. Oh yeah. Gotta love that.
That sun's blinding.
Yeah, it is. that's a wrap. Bikes did great, as you see in the GoPro videos. Yeah, can't wait to keep riding this damn thing. Give it a hell. Peace.